Good morning, guys. I wanted to do a quick recap of the current Bitcoin situation. Um, just a reminder, I keep pet birds and they live next to my desk, so they're likely to squawk throughout this video. You can probably hear him chirping away right now. So I'll try and keep it relatively brief, and I'll try and keep the budgie noise down, but I can't guarantee anything. So looking at the weekly chart here, um, do you know what? Give me 3 seconds. I'm just going to cover up the birds so they don't squawk. 2 minutes. Okay, birds secured. So looking at the weekly chart, what we're seeing right now is that the weekly 50 MA has provided support yet again. We had a little bit of a consolidation area where it was a little bit uncertain, but we managed to break above the 50 MA here back in January 20 or this year, and we've broken up, found some resistance and come down, and we've retested, and we've had what looks 6.5% bounce. This isn't a trade. This buy, I wouldn't take it on a weekly scale, but you can see it's obviously a good bounce because we've hit take profit 2 already, which is at 5%. So looking fairly strong on the weekly. Currently, we're basically at resistance. I'm going to remove these because they're irrelevant at the moment. So currently, we are essentially sat at this level, this 9,100 level. Now, ideally, we would need the weekly to close above this level, and I would expect probably a retest of this 9,100 level. If you've looked at my previous videos, this 9,100 level has been hugely relevant to us for quite a long time now, since the end of 2019. In fact, May 2019, we sort of began to create that area, and then we sort of found it as support on that descending triangle. And we've since broken down, retested, broke above, retested, failed, found this support at the 50 MA, and now we're retesting it again. So I'd imagine there's quite a few people looking for shorts at this point, which is logical. But pending what we see over the next few days, if this weekly closes above, then I'd be looking to long that 9,100 area, and I think that would likely be a long that you'd hold probably for some time. I personally would expect if we came up and retested that after a weekly close above, I'd expect at least probably the mid 10Ks, if not higher, and dare I say it, break these highs. I'm going to go down to the daily now, which I haven't looked at. This is obviously, as you know, with most of my videos, I just sort of run with it. I don't have an agenda. I just open the chart and have a look. So this is the first time I'm seeing it. So another thing to note is that we do have this potential head and shoulder pattern on a larger time frame. Now, now if that forms, and we may find resistance at this 9280 area, the daily 50 MA, which wouldn't be the end of the world. If we hit that, retested this 9100, we would have a chance of breaking it. But there is still this potential head and shoulders pattern forming, in which case the breakdown point obviously would be the neckline somewhere around here, and we're looking at a measured move of 19%. So we're not out of the woods just yet, and we do need to break above 9100. That's the main sort of argument here. But then on the absolute flip side of that, there's I've seen at least a few people arguing this larger pattern. Now, this larger pattern would imply that we do have some downside still to come. So that does support this 9100 resistance area. If we can't get above that by, maybe the weekly close, I'd say daily close today, we need to really break above, or we're going to see some level of retest of this area. Then, there is still a chance of forming this. But currently, as I see it, we're at resistance. If we can break above, then I'm optimistic. 4 hour, let's have a look. So 4 hour, you can see we're just basically tapping on that 9,000 area, 9,100 area. I wouldn't argue this as a retest yet. We'd have to confirm with a 4 hour close above this candle, and that's not going to be until 4 o'clock today, UTC. We had a successful short trade there, or I did at least. But yeah, so we broke above the 50 MA after consolidating underneath it for some time. So that's shown some strength, but obviously that 99 MA is still there at the mid 9200s. So again, yeah, we need to break above there, and that's really all that's important. On a 1 hour, we can see we're sort of consolidating kind of along underneath resistance. I'd like to see it break above today, really. As I said, the weekly close is the main important close, but this daily close, I would say, is quite relevant as well. If we can break above there today, then that would show a lot of strength, but I wouldn't be surprised if we rejected it and either saw a retest or we consolidated for a while before potentially breaking up. But just bear in mind there's several opposing factors here. Inverted head and shoulders would indicate more downside. This head and shoulders top would indicate more downside. So really it's a bit of a grey area to me, and the only real relevant level that I'm looking at is this 9100. I think that's the most important thing, and it also coincides with that left shoulder there. So if we can't break above, preferably today or by the weekly close, then I'm expecting probably a stronger chance of downside. So yeah, that's it.